Hello students, good evening. Today we are discussing register and style, which is very important and which is the part of business English. So here I am discussing language register and the forms of language registers. These are the three forms of uh, register: formal, informal and neutral, right? So let us see. Language register is the level and style of your writing, right? So register is actually language where we consider level and style, right? When we write something, so how much formal we are, or informal, or neutral, means formal or informal. So we have to see, and then what kind of words we can choose, we will choose, how much freedom we have to choose or to use such words, and words, and what we can say, that language, right? Grammar. So here we'll see it. So it should be appropriate for the situation you are in. So very simple example I would like to give you. Suppose there are three situations. One situation is you are sitting among your friends, right? So that and then you are chatting with your friends, either face to face or chatting on phone. And second situation is you are sitting with your mentor or guide or teacher, right? And third situation is you are sitting with your colleagues, right? So in these situations, first is friends, and friends means informal. So choice of word can be different. And suppose you are sitting in a restaurant, so anything without thinking you can choose any word and you can convey your message. But when you write something at home with the same friends you are chatting with, so then you can use you can take liberty, and without thinking you can use any words, grammar, and short terms, abbreviations, right? And in B situation, where you are sitting with your guide or teachers, so definitely that will be more formal, where you have to think, you have to choose words, what should be selective, you have to choose grammar, your sentence must be proper, and avoid contraction and all short terms, and then because it's a formal situation. And the third situation where you're sitting with your colleagues, right, and discussing a matter, so that you cannot be much formal as well as informal, so you use mixed language and standard language. So this way, these different variation of language and your way of talking, that is called style, which we are going to discuss here. So let us see. First one is, that's a the language register determines the vocabulary structure and some grammar in your writing. So language register, what language register determines vocabulary structure and some grammar, right? So please take care, and it's a very good notes. That's why I'm reading and trying to explain it, explain register and style. So please take care. That is language register determines vocab, right? What kind of words you can use, and sentence structure and grammar, right? That's a proper grammar should be used. Or sometime you can take advantage and you can use don't use proper sentences. That's depend on register, what register you are using or what language you are using. Then the three most common language registers are there. So these are the three language register: formal, informal and neutral. Okay, so let us see what is formal. We use different language registers for different types of writing. Important, we use different language register, right? Different language registers for different types of writing. Okay, formal, informal and neutral. Okay, Now, just as we speak differently to different purpose people, I gave you example, right? So then suppose at home when you talk to your brother, sister, husband, wife, relatives, right? So that we speak, our style is different, our register is different because we are informal. But when we reach to our office and we talk to our director or principal or seniors, so then definitely our way of talking will be changed. Means language register will be changed, and it will be formal. Words are formal, vocabulary and proper sentence and grammar and everything we have to follow, right? So that will be different language register. And when you go to when you are sitting to your cabin and among your colleagues or department, you are sitting in your department, so situation will be different, right? So that is different language register we are using in different situation. Now you would not speak to the president of United States the same way you would talk to your brother, very big. And when here you are talking about president of US and here you are talking about brother, totally different approach, right? So that is language register is change, right? So now to your brother, WhatsApp, it's awesome that you come to visit, right? So that is WhatsApp, right? And then this way your body language will be changed and your attitude, your talking, you will use such kind of sentences. WhatsApp, it's awesome that you came to visit, okay? So that is to your friend. And then to the president, good morning Mr. President, we appreciate your visit, right? So then here the approach will be changed, we appreciate your visit, okay? So that is different. Now the formal register is more appropriate for professional writing and letters to a boss or a stranger, right? So formal register we use for professional writing, right? And example is boss or stranger. Informal register, also called casual or intimate, is conversational and appropriate when writing to friends and people you know very well, right? So that is informal conversation and appropriate when writing to friends and people, right? So informal is conversational and just as you talk, normal talk, right? And appropriate when writing to friends and acquaintance whom you know very well, okay? Neutral is non emotional and stick to facts, right? It is most appropriate for technical writings, right? So non neutral is for technical writing. In articles such as these, we tend to mix the formal and informal register. Here author is saying that the formal and informal register is used to present the information in an easy to understand and personal tone, right? Anyhow, the purpose of this information is that the student should understand what is the register and style. So that's a mixed languages used here, that is neutral register. Why? Because easy to understand and personal tone, okay? Now let's look closely at the three most common languages that used in uh, English language. First is formal languages. The formal writing is probably the most difficult type of writing. It is impersonal, meaning it is not written for a specific person or is written without emotion, right? So that is important. Why? Because formal writing means that is most difficult type of writing. It is impersonal, it's not personal, meaning impersonal, meaning it is not written for a specific purpose per person and is written for without emotion, no emotions, and that is for very formal, right? So that is called formal register. And some kind of writing are always written in formal English, and that is business letters, right? Very formal, and letters of complaint, some essays, reports, official speeches, announcements, and professional emails. These are the examples of formal register. Okay, so that's a person is writing. Okay, now there are many rules for writing informal writing. We will discuss some of the most common rules. So here we are going to discuss common rules, and when in doubt check the rules. Okay, now first is that's the rules for formal language register. Do not use contractions. Contractions are not usually used in a formal writing, even though they are very common in spoken language. Example they are giving that in formal writing you should spell out contraction, right? What We have to spell out contraction. For example, in formal writing you should use cannot instead of can't, so that is contraction. Good example: have not instead of having, will not, won't, and could not, couldn't. So these are called contraction, right? Contractions. But instead of contraction we should use full form, right? So we should use full form, and these are the full forms. These are the full form. Okay, now these are just a few examples of contractions. Some more contractions by following uh, contraction link above. Okay, fine. Next is that's a 2/3 of my 8th grade. What they are saying that contractions can be used if you are quoting someone someone's extract words in your writing, right? So when we are taking someone's words as quotation, then we can use contraction. For example, two thirds of my 8th grade students can't read at grade. So here can't, that contraction is used in this case. Why? Because that is someone else speech. The professor stated. So why? Because this is not your writing, you are not writing, this is someone else speech, right? So that is quotation or direct speech. So here you can't change, and here contraction can be used. Okay, now keep in mind that an apostrophe does not always make a contraction, right? So that is, apostrophes are also added to noun to show the ownership or possession. So apostrophe, this is apostrophe, right? But apostrophe is not thoroughly used for contraction, but here apostrophe is used for ownership as well, or possession. Okay, so children's classroom, professors report elephant's trunk. Then spell out number. Second rule is spell out numbers less than 100, right? So that 100, uh, suppose numbers are there, so which are less than 100, 100 or more than 100 you can use, right? Like 1000 you can use number, but before 100 we should spell out, that is 19, 22, 21, whatever, right? 6 something. Okay, next rule is write in third person point of view, right? Very important. In formal writing we usually do not use first person and second person. First person is I, second person is you, right? In second person is you, right? So that unless it is a quote, in quote with you can write anything, right? In quote you can write anything, but because it cannot be changed, but except quote we cannot use we should not use uh, first and second person, but we should use third person. So avoid using first, second, you, I, sorry, I, you. Okay, so that's a I, you, we, us. These should be avoided. An example: you can purchase a car for under this amount, right? $10,000. One can purchase a car for under 10,000. So, or a car, not you or one, a car can be purchased, right? So that will be more appropriate. A car, right? You can be purchased for under $10,000. You will probably see an elephant on an African safari, and then elephants are common sight or African safari, this way. Okay, so I'm not writing whole. Now fourth rule is that avoid using too much passive voice, not too much passive, right? Passive or active, you understand the difference. Passive is like when importance is given to work, right? And that's a formal language, and in active, subject is important. So here they are suggesting not use too much formal. We should not be much formal in formal writing. It is better to use active voice. So they are suggesting that we should use active, means sometime we have to make it clear that who has done this work. So then the bone was eaten by the dog, right? So here we have to tell what is eaten by dog. So that is, this is subject and this is object, right? However, both are noun, but then this noun is object because this is the doer, and doer is doing the work eaten, and then the dog who has eaten, so then dog. So sorry, I'm extremely sorry. This is now subject, but this is earlier, this was object, right? So that is the dog at the bone. This was the sa- this was the uh, active voice, the dog at the bone. So we should prefer this much rather than this much. It should be avoided, it should be preferred, right? Okay. Active sentences: the dog at the bone. The student completed the research in 2009. है ना? In 2009, the students completed the research. It can be like this. But for example, in a rule above, I wrote apostrophe are also added to the nouns to show ownership, right? I wrote the sentence in a passive voice, and to make it active, I could write additionally, add an apostrophe to a noun to show ownership. So use apostrophe with nouns to show ownership, right? How? Here we can see that uh, okay, we'll see later on. Now avoid using slang, idiom, exaggeration, hyperboles, or cliche. Very important, very slang, idiom, exaggeration, cliche, right? These are the we should avoid. So slang is common in informal writing and spoken English. So slang means, what are the slangs? That's a awesome, cool, okay, check it out, in a nutshell. And cliche is a phrase that is overused, right? So should be avoided. Cliche: too much of a good thing, moment of truth, time is money, don't push your luck, right? Beauty is only skin deep. These are the common phrases frequently used. We should avoid it. Next rule is avoid abbreviation and acronym. So abbreviation, if you use acronym or abbreviation, write it out the first time. When using acronym, write the entire name out the first time it appears, followed by acronym. From then on you can use the acronym by itself, right? So that is National Aeronautics Space Administration, NASA. So that is national. Once if you are using then NASA directly, you cannot use NASA. First time you have to use National Aeronautics and Space Administration full, then you can use, right? Kansas Department of Transportation. So that is key DOT. First write this, then short note, then afterwards you can use abbreviation, right? So that is acronym. For abbreviation, write that was the example of acronym. And now come to the abbreviation. Write the complete word of the first time, then use the abbreviation. For example, these are the abbreviation: influenza, in so flu, right? So then your readers will be familiar, okay, flu is used for influenza. So first time you have to write both, United States of America, US, or US. So then first time you have to write this way. Now they suggest that do not use slang abbreviation or symbols that you would use in friendly emails, right? For example, laugh out loud, so that LOL, very common now, right? Talk to you later. So these are the uh, because, without, with, right? So these are the uh, slang abbreviation, right? So slang abbreviation should be avoided. Okay. Now next rule is, do not start sentence with words like or so or but or also. We should not start, because here are some good transition words and phrases. For example, nevertheless, additionally, in addition. So we should avoid, right? And always write in complete sentence. And next rule is, write longer, more complex sentences. So is the suggestions for formal register. Now informal language register. So I will read informal language register. That will be, wait a minute, yeah. Informal writing is writing is written in the way we talk to our friends or family. We use informal writing when we are writing to someone we know very well. So that is not much pain. We no need to take much pain. Some kinds of writing can be written in an informal style: personal, email, phone, text, okay, short notes, friendly letters, most blogs, diaries, and journals. There are no major rules for informal writing. So that's good. Whatever you want to write, you can write. With informal writing, you can include things such as slang, cliche, okay, figurative language, symbols, acronyms, income, whatever is restricted in formal writing, as always free to write in informal writing. So these all jokes, right? That is first person, second person, third person, short sentences, paragraphs, no paragraphs or number of paragraphs, jokes, personal opinions, extra punctuation like this way, right? And passive and active, anything. Now last one is neutral language register. We use the neutral language register with non-emotional topics and information. So that is uh, uh, suppose you want to inform some things to someone, so then you can use neutral register, right? And that is non emotional. Not emotion means friends and near dear. That is for unacquainted, or the person you means you keep distance with the person and you are informing something. In that situation we use neutral register. So that is, neutral writing is not necessarily formal or informal. It is not usually positive or negative. A neutral register is used to deliver facts. This should be kept in mind. That's a neutral register is used to deliver facts, right? Some writings are written in a neutral register. This means they are not specifically formal or informal. So neutral register is not formal or informal, right? Example is the neutral register, language register includes reviews, not much formal informal, articles, some letters, some essays, technical writing. Okay, so these were the types of language register. Now that you know them, it is time to practical get our ELC book. It's okay, but now I think you must have got the idea about all three register. So today we have discussed register means, that is language, right? What kind of language we use and which situation. So that's a register. I'm telling you that register is the level and style of your writing, है ना? What is the level and what's the style of your writing. So there are some rules, and then a formal is very much formal, where number of rules are suggested. For example, contraction, slang, and short terms, abbreviation, acronym should not be used. Lengthy and full sentences should be used, and instead of passive voice, active voice should be used. Something, right? Then formal, informal, there are not much rules, and for neutral, that is solely written for information. When you purpose is giving information, when then we use neutral register, language register, and for which then the both the formal, informal, or can be used. Both the register can be used. So that is written here, and the same I have discussed with you. So please read it carefully, and if you have any query, you are most welcome to ask. That's a here that you can tell me, right? So that is yeah, I wanted to tell you that neutral language register is used for non emotional topics. Okay, thank you so much. God bless you.